Hi everyone, happy Independence Day. Tonight's movie is going to be of The Lady and the Tramps 2, Scamp's Adventure. So, Lady and the Tramp is one of my favorite earlier Disney films. Does the sequel hold up to it? Yes and no. It's hard to live up to that, but for a Disney sequel, not bad. But why? Let's get into that. The story for this film is that Scamp, Lady and Tramp's son, is tired of living like a house dog and wants to live on the streets and live wild and free. And he doesn't have to follow rules or have a bath anymore. So he runs off and joins the Junkyard Dogs, all of whom are actually friends, former friends in the case of Buster, their leader, of his own father, the Tramp. And he starts to realize who Tramp was before he was born and met Lady. And then he needs to find the true meaning of family while becoming close with a girl dog named Angel. Now, in The Little Mermaid 2, I did express some frustration at the idea of a character learning a similar lesson to the lesson a parent learned in the previous film. So, this is somewhat done here, but not quite as much, as Lady did feel quite content in her home in the beginning of her movie. But similarly, even though Scamp leaves his home willingly, does come across some perils, ending up in the dog pound, having a plate full of spaghetti with a street dog. And there are some similarities, but unlike Little Mermaid 2, it isn't as much as a repeat. It still has enough that is different. We have Scamp having his own arc of wanting to be free but also wanting a family and trying to become like his father was, while still being annoyed at his father for changing and wanting to be a great junkyard dog, but at the same time starting to miss his family and realizing how much they matter. So it has a lot of good emotions to it, and the message of a family is really done well here. The animation is hard to say anything really special for. It's decent for direct-to-video Disney movie, but that's not saying much, really. It's not terrible, and there are some nice scenes, like with fireworks at the end after the pound scene, and the opening with hot air balloons. The I didn't know that I could feel this way part has some nice animation with Scamp and Angel going around at night and encountering some fireflies, so there's little touches here and there. And it's decent to look at, but that's easier to like for what it isn't. The characters are mostly similar to what they were in the original. Jack and Trusty are, as they were in the original, adorable and lovable. I just love Trusty. He's just so goofy and having a great heart while still being completely clueless. I love him so much. And I'll talk about him more if I review the original. Lady has less to do in this film, but is a good mom to Scamp and his sisters. Tramp has changed a lot from domestic life, and it is a shame because I loved his rugged way of how he was so charming, even when he had unlikable moments in the original, so that it could be a jerk, but also charming at the same time. Now on to the new ones. Scamp doesn't feel like a puppy at all, probably because of his voice got wolf, and he makes it sound more like a teen, and I'm not sure what age you were going for, which might be okay, but I'm not sure if you're going for teen, adult, or what, because even if they're going for that, that means Angel will be around that age, and we're going to get into that with some of my uncomfortable implications for the film, largely surrounding the character of Angel. Not that she's bad. I like her quite a bit. She could have been just a female tramp, but she winds up being more because she does want a family secretly, but she's also scared of being hurt again after losing 5 of them, and she doesn't feel like the Junkyard Dogs are a real family to her, but she has nothing else. While Scamp is a totally different case. He doesn't appreciate what he has, but at the same time, he is a likable character. He has his moments of brattiness, but he also is quick to defend another dog in need. He saves Angel, and he even considers saving Reggie, a vicious dog he provokes and gets caught by the dog catcher, which really shows who he is as a person. And that really inspires Angel later in the film when he himself is in trouble and she returns the favor after he saved her. So, a Disney couple where both people save each other equally. Yeah, they really need more of those. So one person doesn't have to be more powerful or whatever than the other. Boy, girl, doesn't matter. Should be 50-50. And then they really have a nice connection, even if it does feel like smaller scale and more childlike love than Lady and the Tramp felt, but it's still nice. Now, Buster is our main antagonist, and he makes me a little uncomfortable because of his feelings for Angel, and considering Angel has feelings for Scamp, and I'm presuming Scamp to be a teenager, so that means either Angel or Buster. Ugh. And then, I don't think things are different for dogs, but since we're supposed to see them as somewhat human and identify with them, it feels off. But other than that, Buster is pretty much Tramp's ex-boyfriend. Hi, Duita. Sorry, I couldn't help it. But yeah, he's bitter about Tramp leaving him and the other Junkyard Dogs for Lady, making him decide that his trouble is his own. And his hatred towards pets comes from there. And he wants to hurt Tramp in any way he can through Scamp, making him a very manipulative and just plain jerky villain. The other Junkyard Dogs are nice enough, I guess. They aren't nearly as bad as Buster, even if they wind up being part of his pawns later, particularly Francois, the little French dog. And they are nice, but none of them have enough time to really shine, which isn't the point of the movie, so I guess it doesn't matter. The songs are great for direct-to-video ones, but aren't so great for Disney songs. Other than I didn't know that I would go this way, that one is really pretty. It's no Bella Notte, but it's close. Junkyard Society Rag is a catchy enough villain song for Buster, and it really establishes the Junkyard Dogs, and it has enough of the unfortunate parts of Buster's character, like the idea of everyone being for themselves, while still being catchy enough that it could be coming from these secondary characters that aren't villains. but still work as an actual villain song for Buster. Welcome is a typical setting song, and Wolf Without Fences, the I Want More song, and they're done well, but again, even though I said they're great, they're only great compared to Fa La 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 Fallen in Love from Hunchback 2, or some of the other really bad sequel songs. And that's the problem with any Disney sequel other than maybe Lion King 2 or Cinderella 3, maybe. Almost all of them, if they have something great or seemingly great, it's because other ones have something worse, far worse. I didn't even think of it as great as when I said it. I had to think about it for a bit. I was about to say so many things, but whenever I watch one of these, I think at least it's not doing this or that. Even sometimes thinking of things that the better ones have done that this one hasn't. So each one of them is going to have annoying moments or problems like that, and they should be taken with a grain of salt. But overall, this is one of the better ones. It has some decent songs. The characters aren't too ruined. They really feel like themselves. The story is fine on its own and isn't a complete rehash. And I could see why people would pick this one over the original for watching, unlike the other ones that are complete rehashes and do everything worse. And I would have to say it is a decent to good film. Not quite the sequel that Lady and the Tramp deserves, but definitely gets a lot better than what some of the other Disney films unfortunately got. Thanks for watching. Happy Independence Day, and if you have an anime film you want me to review, please leave it in the comment section below.